4DInbox.com, and we're going to be checking out this really disturbing video about a cop caught on body cam laughing about grad student killed in police car collision. Now, here's the thing. I do understand that there's some cops, some paramedics that have like really dark humor, but from what this video kind of like shows, it doesn't really seem like this is like a humorous thing. It almost seems like they just literally just don't care about human life like at all. So let's check this out.
Yep, totally. All right, brother. Well, yep. I'm sure TCIS is. And, oh, he's good. He says, well, normally we don't give voluntary statements. And I said, hey, you're going to have to decide if you wanted to give a statement or not. But it does not seem like there's a criminal investigation going on. Otherwise, there would be other. What's that? Yeah. Otherwise, there might be other people arriving, correct? Yeah. I mean, he's going 50. That's not out of control. That's not reckless for a trained driver.
Side note, apparently the officer was actually going over 70 miles per hour.
Yeah. Lights and sirens. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's some. Initially, he said she was in a crosswalk. There's a witness that says no, she wasn't. But that witness could be different because I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
Like, now we can't hear what the person he's on the phone with, or intercom, whatever, like who he's talking to and what they're saying. But it's like that is such a disturbing laugh. But that's not even the worst part about it.
No, it's a regular person. Yeah. Yeah, just write a check. Just yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
She was 26 only. She had limited value. Like, what the actual hell? Right? So, I mean, feel free to give your thoughts on this video. It's like, to me, like, when I stumbled upon this, I was like, how can you care so little about human life? Like, that is surprising to me. It's like, oh yeah, her life is only worth $11,000. It's like, what? So, newly released body cam footage reveals a Seattle police officer laughed and made light of the death of a young woman who was struck and killed by a cop car, joking she had limited value and the city should just write a check. So, taxpayer dollars, writing out a check to someone who got killed by a cop. And this guy, like, the person who's laughing isn't the one that killed the girl. This person basically, I believe, showed up to the scene, but it's like this is the kind of like weird thing, right? So the cop that actually did it, right, did CPR, admitted to his fault, etc., 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 right? And then you have this cop who didn't even do it, have like such little view, like value to like someone's life. Like that is so weird. Like the cop that actually killed the girl has more empathy to the girl than this random ass cop. Like, oh god, that is so crazy to me. Officer Daniel Audrer can be heard in the video discussing the investigation into the wreck involving 23-year-old grad student Jahnavi Kandula. I think that's how you pronounce her name. who was struck and killed by his colleague, Officer Kevin Dave, on January 23rd. She is dead, Autore says before bursting out laughing, which, by the way, again, like that laugh was such a creepy ass laugh. No, it's a regular person, he says, referring to Kandula. Toward the end of the video, Autore can be heard saying, through bursts of laughter, "Yeah, just write a check, $11,000. She was 26 anyway," he said, misstating the victim's age. She had limited value. Now, this, really weirds me out, right? Because it's like, what is this, line of thinking? Is this, the line of thinking of, the super red pill guys? Where, oh, if you're over, 18, you're, your value's, decreasing as, a lady? Is that his viewpoint? It's like, what the hell does that have to do with this? This is, so weird. This statement is just so freaking weird. So Autore, who serves as the Seattle Police Guild's vice president, also mentions in the clip that he did not believe a criminal investigation was being conducted. Well, now there goddamn better be. Holy crap. So this is the guy that was laughing, apparently, in the dash cam, well, the body cam footage. But Jesus Christ. So this is, I believe, the cop that actually ended up killing the girl. But how can the guy that actually killed, the cop that killed the girl, again, has more empathy from what it seems like than the vice president cop guy? Let's see. I mean, he was going 50 miles per hour. That's not out of control. That's not reckless for a trained driver, Autore said. However, a report released in June revealed Dave was actually driving 74 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone while responding to a different high priority call, KIRO 7 reported. Autore responded to the scene of the January 23rd crash to conduct a drug test on Dave. Timestamps on the body cam footage show that his call to another colleague about the incident took place the following evening. Dave had chirped his siren but did not have it running continuously as he plowed into Kandula, a master's student at Northeastern University's Seattle campus, footage of the incident shows. Footage from Dave's body cam reveals he admitted he effed up after speeding through the intersection of Dexter Avenue North and Thomas Street, where the speed limits are 25 and 20 miles per hour, respectively. Moments after reaching the top speed, he can be seen slowing the car before striking Kandula at the fateful intersection. He performed CPR on the exchange student who arrived at Northeastern University in Seattle from India to pursue a Master's of Science in Information Systems at the College of Engineering, and she was due to graduate in December, which isn't too far away. And video of the shotgun phone call that came a day after the deadly collision was also uploaded to the Seattle Police Department's YouTube page. The department, which released the video in the interest of transparency, said it will not comment on the matter until the Office of Police Accountability concludes its investigation into the incident. The troubling call was identified in the routine course of business by a department employee and escalated to Police Chief Adrian Diaz, who referred it to the Office of Police Accountability. And Seattle Civilian-led Community Police Commission said the incident speaks to the concerns it has repeatedly raised about elements of Seattle Police Department culture and SPOG resistance to officer accountability measures included in the landmark 2017 Police Accountability Ordinance. The people of Seattle deserve better from a police department that is charged with fostering trust with the community and ensuring public safety, the CPC added. To me, in my viewpoint, it's anyone can have their own viewpoint. If you stumble upon this, give your thoughts about this situation, because to me, this is so crazy. But to me, I have a hard time trusting I would have a hard time trusting a cop that had such a low viewpoint onto another person's life. Oh wow, you think another person, their life is worth only $11,000. That's your viewpoint, right? You have such little empathy towards other human beings, and you're a cop. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, and the thing is, like, her family should really sue this department. Like, this is just so beyond disgusting. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what a bunch of scumbags. Well, I mean, mainly one scumbag. Because, like, again, this is the crazy thing. Like, I know I'm, like, constantly repeating myself, but, like, how the hell does it seem like the guy that killed the girl, the cop that killed the girl, it seems like he has more empathy about the situation than this dude? Let's see some of these comments. Wait, let's see. This officer should be fired, and every case he ever worked should be investigated for his hatefulness, racism, and utter lack of conscience. Well, the thing is, I don't know if he's racist, but one thing's for sure, he doesn't view highly about other people's lives. That's for sure. What a disgusting excuse of a human being. She had value, inestimable value, a graduate student, a daughter, and more. I used to be a big law and order person and supported the police, thinking maybe there was one or two bad apples, but overall, honorable people were involved. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I started watching videos on YouTube with regard to this. There are really thousands and thousands. The behavior I've seen, especially against people who committed no crime, has really flipped my opinion around about who the police are and what further happens to people when they try to lodge complaints with some police station. There are some very neutral sites like Audit the Audit. Yeah, I checked out that show, that channel before too. That's a very interesting channel. Let me see. To say it was an insensitive comment by a civilian would be an understatement. For that to be said by a cop after another cop was directly responsible for the vehicular homicide of a young student shows a level of callousness and indifference that in a psychological exam would disqualify an individual from becoming a Leo. I think that $11,000 check he mentioned is going to be the postage on the size of the lawsuit about to be filed for a reckless operation causing death. We are all guilty of thinking stupid things, but uttering such inane and unfeeling things about the death of any person is a deeper reflection of the intellectual depravity. Yeah. Okay. First responder humor can be rough. Many years ago, I worked where paramedics gathered after their shift, and it can be uncomfortable listening to them. See, like this is the thing. Like I have an understanding that like these first responders will have like super dark humor sometimes to get over what they deal with, but this doesn't seem like a dark humor type of situation. This seems like this guy really just doesn't give a crap about human life. Period. And also was warning too, like the guy was like in like a leadership role in his department. Like that's disturbing. And by the way, what the hell does he mean by regular people too? Rest in peace. Yeah. Lack of empathy is one of the signs of a sociopath. Get rid of this guy before he costs the department more. Hmm. Let's see, this person says he obviously doesn't know much about tort law. Her value will far exceed 11K as a future engineer with a 40-year career ahead. The lawsuit will factor in lost potential income, loss of companionship to family members, etc. The city will be lucky to settle for $5 million. He's a miserable human being. Yeah. Again, feel free to give your thoughts. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this is because one is just so heinous, but two, the fact that this guy basically joked about putting such a low value on a human life is beyond sad to me. Now I do know that like in like some third world countries, people could probably pay like 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks for like a hit on someone. Like that happens too. But I mean, we're talking about like in America. Like this happened in America. And you have a cop in a position of power, not just as a cop, but in a position of power as a cop within the whole cop spectrum, being this distant to other human beings, like have such disregard for human life. It's just beyond sad. So yeah, I don't even know what else to say about this. This is just